Let's be honest. There's a certain kind of silence between two people that says everything. You know what I'm talking about. That charged moment where neither of you says a word, but your hearts are practically having a conversation of their own. It's not just in your head. It's real. It's called mutual attraction, that invisible thread of energy that ties two minds together, long before anyone confesses it out loud. And if you've ever wondered whether that chemistry you feel is mutual, you're about to find out. Because today, I'm revealing 4 undeniable psychological signs that you both like each other, even if neither of you says a word. Trust me, if you recognize even 2 of these signs, you're not imagining it. Something deeper is happening between you. Before we dive in, let me tell you something important. Mutual attraction operates on a frequency most people never notice. It's subtle, it's silent, it's subconscious. But once you learn to read the signs, you'll see them everywhere. In the pauses, in the glances, in the energy that shifts when you're both in the same room. And here's what makes mutual attraction so powerful. It doesn't need words to exist. In fact, words often weaken it. Because the moment you verbalize what's happening, you force it into the realm of logic and decision-making. But before that happens, it lives in pure feeling, raw, unfiltered, and undeniable. So if you've been questioning whether what you feel is real, whether they feel it too, pay attention to these 4 signs, because your subconscious already knows the truth. Now it's time your conscious mind catches up. Sign number 1. Your eyes find each other, even in crowds. Let's start with the most powerful giveaway, eye contact. When 2 people share mutual attraction, their eyes behave differently. They seek each other out. You'll notice it. In the middle of a room, your eyes meet for just a second longer than they should. It's not accidental. It's instinctual. Psychologists call it reciprocal gaze behavior, when your subconscious keeps scanning for someone who already holds emotional significance to you. Think about it. You're in a group setting, a party, a meeting, a gathering. There are dozens of people around, but your eyes keep drifting back to one person. And when they do, you find them already looking at you. Here's what's fascinating. If someone looks at you and you catch them twice, that's rarely coincidence. Your brains are literally syncing for attention, each of you looking to see if the other is still looking. That's the language of silent desire. And the more this eye contact happens, the more oxytocin, the bonding hormone, builds between you both. That's why even a single glance can feel electric. But here's where it gets deeper. It's not just about how often you make eye contact. It's about the quality of that contact. When there's mutual attraction, eye contact does something different. It lingers. It feels weighted. There's a vulnerability in it, like you're both seeing something in each other that you're not ready to name yet. And then there's the look away. Watch what happens after your eyes meet. Do they quickly break contact and look down? That's not disinterest, that's nervousness. It means the intensity was too much to hold. Do they smile slightly before looking away? That's acknowledgement. A silent, I feel it too. Do they hold your gaze just a fraction longer than comfortable? That's courage. That's them testing whether you'll hold it back. Now be careful, because this isn't just about staring. It's about how it feels. There's warmth in that look, a softness, and yet a spark that neither of you dares to name. That's attraction, hiding in plain sight. And if you notice this pattern repeating, your eyes finding each other across rooms, across conversations, across moments where there's no logical reason to be looking, that's your subconscious trying to tell you something. That's mutual attraction, operating below the surface of conscious awareness. Now here's something wild. Studies in neuropsychology show that when 2 people with mutual attraction make eye contact, their heart rates synchronize within seconds. Your bodies are literally responding to each other before your minds have even processed what's happening. That's not magic. That's biology recognizing compatibility. Sign number 2. You mirror each other without realizing it. Ever notice how your posture changes when you're around them? Or how you both laugh at the same rhythm? Or start using the same phrases without meaning to? That's not coincidence. It's called mirroring, one of the most powerful indicators of mutual psychological attraction. When 2 people subconsciously mirror each other's gestures, tone, or even breathing patterns, it means their nervous systems are aligning, like emotional Wi-Fi connecting silently. You sit the way they sit. They cross their legs when you do. You touch your hair. They adjust their shirt. And no one realizes it's happening, but it is. Because the human brain naturally syncs with those it feels safe and drawn to. Let me break down what this looks like in real life. You're sitting across from each other at coffee. You lean forward, Within seconds, they lean forward too. You take a sip of your drink. Moments later, they reach for theirs. You laugh and touch your neck. They unconsciously mirror the gesture. This isn't mimicry. This is your limbic systems, the emotional centers of your brains, communicating directly with each other. It's your body saying, I'm comfortable with you, I'm open to you, I trust you. Here's the dark psychology part. Mirroring isn't just about attraction. It's a sign of emotional permission. It means both of you have unconsciously said, it's okay to connect. And here's what makes this even more powerful. Mirroring is mutual. If only one person is mirroring, that's effort. That's someone trying to build rapport. But when both people mirror each other naturally, without thinking about it, without strategizing, that's genuine connection. That's two nervous systems recognizing each other as safe, desirable, and significant. You might even notice you start adopting their speech patterns, using words they use, matching their energy levels, speaking at similar speeds. This is called linguistic synchrony, and it's one of the strongest predictors of romantic compatibility. So if you're seeing subtle patterns, similar smiles, matching tone, or tiny echoes in body language, that's not random. That's mutual desire speaking its native tongue. You know what's crazy? You can fake interest with words, but the body never lies. That's why people who study deception always watch body language first, words second. Because your subconscious communicates truth through movement, proximity, and gesture, long before your conscious mind decides what to say. Sign number 3. Time feels suspiciously short when you're together. Have you ever been with someone and suddenly hours felt like minutes? That's not just good chemistry. That's temporal distortion, a psychological effect that happens when two people are mentally and emotionally engaged. You lose track of time because your brain releases dopamine, the pleasure chemical that makes moments feel addictive. When you both like each other, you get lost in the experience. The conversation flows effortlessly. Even silence feels comfortable. And you both don't want the moment to end. Think about the last time you were with them. Did you check your phone? Did you worry about what time it was? Or were you so absorbed in the moment that the outside world just disappeared? That's called flow state, and it typically only happens when you're doing something your brain finds deeply rewarding. Here's something deeper. When mutual attraction exists, even ordinary interactions, like talking about nothing, feel meaningful. You could be discussing the weather, your favorite food, or a random memory from childhood, and somehow it feels like the most important conversation you've ever had. That's because your subconscious is absorbing every detail about them. Their voice tone, their expressions, their scent. You're not just talking, you're studying each other, without even realizing it. Your brain is cataloging information, how they laugh, how they think, how they move through the world. It's collecting data to answer one fundamental question. Is this person right for me? And when the answer keeps coming back yes, time bends. You look at the clock and 3 hours have passed, but it felt like 30 minutes. That's not just perception. That's your brain telling you, this matters, this person matters, pay attention. And when you finally part ways, you both replay those moments in your heads, like a favorite scene you can't stop watching. You remember tiny details, the way they tilted their head when they smiled, the exact tone they used when they said your name, the brief moment your hands accidentally touched. That's not just curiosity, that's connection, and it's mutual. Because if you're replaying the moments, chances are they're doing the exact same thing. Now here's a little truth bomb. If you can't stop thinking about someone, chances are they can't stop thinking about you either. That's the law of emotional resonance. The energy you send out is often mirrored back by the one who feels it too. And that brings us to the final sign, the one that's both beautiful and frustrating at the same time. Sign number 4. You both hesitate because you feel too much. This one's powerful and a bit bittersweet. When two people truly like each other, but haven't said it out loud yet, there's always that tension. It's the hesitation before a text, the pause before a hug, the silence that feels heavy with everything you both want to say, but don't. That hesitation is a psychological sign of emotional overload. You both feel the pull, but you're scared of breaking the spell. Let me paint the picture. You're about to text them. You type something out, then you delete it. You rewrite it 3 different ways. You wait 5 minutes before sending it because you don't want to seem too eager. Or you're saying goodbye. There's that moment where you both linger. Neither of you wants to be the first to walk away. The conversation has ended, but neither of you moves. You both feel it, that magnetic pull, that desire to stay just a little longer. but you don't say it. Because saying it makes it real, and making it real means risking everything. There's a mutual awareness that something special exists, and neither of you wants to risk losing it by rushing in. That's why people who truly like each other often dance around their feelings for a while. They flirt with distance, because the emotions are too intense to handle head-on. It's a paradox. The more you feel, the harder it becomes to act. Because when the stakes are high, when you genuinely care about someone, the fear of rejection becomes paralyzing. So you both play it safe. You test the waters. You send subtle signals and wait to see if they're reciprocated. But here's the truth. That tension, that slow magnetic push and pull, is what creates real chemistry. You don't need to confess it. You both already know. The hesitation itself is the confession. Because if there was nothing there would be nothing to hesitate about. You'd text without overthinking. You'd hug without that electric pause. You'd say goodbye without that lingering look. But you don't, because you both feel too much. And that too much is exactly what makes it real. Let me tell you something from a psychological standpoint. Attraction isn't built in words. It's built in energy exchanges, in how two people react, even in silence. And when that energy is mutual, you feel it in your chest, in your breath, in the way you can't look away for too long. It's rare. It's powerful. And if you're lucky enough to feel it, don't take it lightly. Because genuine mutual attraction, the kind where both people feel the same intensity, doesn't happen often. Most connections are one-sided. One person feels more, wants more, invests more. But when it's truly mutual, when both people are standing on the same edge, both afraid to jump, both hoping the other jumps first, that's when you know you've found something worth fighting for. That's when the fear is actually a good sign, because it means you care enough to be scared. And caring enough to be scared means this isn't just attraction, it's potential. Let's recap the 4 undeniable signs of mutual attraction. 1. Your eyes find each other, even when they shouldn't. That magnetic pull across rooms, across crowds, across moments. When your eyes meet and both of you feel that jolt, that's not random, that's recognition. 2. You mirror each other's movements and energy unconsciously. The way you both lean in at the same time. The way you match each other's tone without trying. That's your nervous system's syncing. Your body's saying what your words won't. 3. Time bends when you're together. Hours feel like minutes. When you lose track of everything except them. When ordinary conversations feel extraordinary. That's dopamine. That's flow state. That's your brain saying, this matters. 4. You both hesitate, because what you feel is too strong to name. The pauses, the overthinking, the lingering. When you both feel too much to act casual, that's not confusion. That's consciousness catching up to what your subconscious already knows. When all 4 align, you're not imagining the connection. It's real. It's mutual. And it's something your minds recognized long before your words ever could. If this video made you think of someone who fits these signs perfectly, well, maybe it's time you stop pretending it's nothing. Because mutual attraction doesn't happen often. And when it does, it's worth exploring. Here's what I want you to understand. The fear of ruining what you have is often what prevents you from having what you want. You're so afraid of losing the connection that you never let it become what it could be. But staying in the maybe forever isn't protecting the connection. It's slowly suffocating it. Because unspoken feelings have an expiration date. Eventually, one of you will move on. Or the moment will pass. Or someone else will be brave enough to say what you both felt but never voiced. So if you recognize these signs, if you feel that pull, if you see it reflected back in their eyes, maybe it's time to be brave. Not reckless, not desperate, but honest. Because the best connections are built on courage. The courage to say, I feel something here. Do you? If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next deep dive into human psychology, attraction, and hidden behavior. And if you want to understand how dark psychology plays into emotional power, check out the next video on this channel, where we expose the hidden patterns that make people fall, chase, and attach. Drop a comment below and let me know, which sign resonated with you most? Have you experienced mutual attraction like this? Because I'd love to hear your stories. Remember, attraction isn't spoken, it's felt. And when 2 people feel it together, that's when the real magic begins. See you in the next one.